Brilliant. It's 2 minutes past now, so I will get started. So thank you everyone for joining and welcome to the 5 Steps to Better Cash Flow and Credit Control webinar. My name's Charlotte and I'm the product manager at Chaser. I'll be stepping in for Sonia today, who unfortunately can't be here, but she shared everything that she had planned with me to present today. I'm also joined by Alex.
Hi there, I'm Alex. I'm a partnership manager at Funding Circle. It's a pleasure to be co-hosting this webinar. I'm looking forward to be able to take you through some different tips on the cash flow side.
Just to take you through some general housekeeping, we'll email the recording of the webinar later today, and we'll also follow up with some links to the resources and templates that we mentioned throughout as well. Just to give a little bit of background for Alex and me, I've been working at Chaser for the last year, focusing on understanding our customer needs and how we can improve Chaser to better support your credit control needs. Chaser is Xero's highest rated accounts receivable partner, and we've helped businesses recover over $10 billion in late payments. From our experience in helping businesses improve their accounts receivable processes, I'll be sharing some advice on how to improve your credit control today. And Alex, over to you.
Thanks, Charlotte. Yep. So I've been supporting small businesses at Funding Circle for almost 6 years now, working primarily previously with brokers and introducers in that time to support their SME customers. Most recently, I've been working within our strategic partnerships team, so working with businesses just like Chaser to find best ways to support their small business customers. Funding Circle, as hopefully some of you may know, is the leading platform for small business loans. We've originated over £13.7 billion in loans to more than 120,000 small businesses across the world, with primarily being in the UK. Businesses can borrow from a wide range of investors for a wide range of purposes and can take loans anywhere from £10,000 up to £500,000 over terms up to 6 years. So yeah, that's us. To go through what we're going to cover today, Charlotte's going to take you through 3 proven strategies to improve your credit control process and internal processes to reduce late payments. I'm then going to take you through 2 strategies to improve your cash flow. And then we're going to look at how Chaser and Funding Circle can support you together. So I'll now hand over to Charlotte, who'll take you through the strategies to improve your credit control process.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alex. So from what we've seen from our end users and businesses that come to us for help with credit control support, improving your credit control processes can be achieved generally just by implementing 3 strategies, which I'm going to go through today. And these are, first of all, enhancing your communications with your customers about payments, tightening your credit control processes, and then also just making sure it's as easy as possible and making it attractive for your customers to pay you on time. So one of the most important ways to help reduce late payments is to communicate with your customers effectively. And this can be done easily by using templates. Writing payment reminders from scratch every time can be time consuming and also pretty tiring. Also, if you've had an experience where a customer's being difficult, it's important that you don't let your frustrations come across within your payment reminders. The key is really to increase the sense of urgency in your reminder messages, but also make sure that you remain polite and professional in them as well. In order to help with this, we've created 8 best practice payment follow-up templates, which cover every stage of the invoice chasing journey. You can simply just copy and paste these and then add in your customer information, and they're pretty much ready to go then. Having the database of effective templates makes it much easier and faster for you to communicate with customers about late payments, and it also increases your chances of getting paid on time. Also, depending on your customer's industry, they may not have frequent access to their email inbox in order to receive payment reminders. In fact, from the research that we've done, the open rate on emails is roughly around 25%. And we can compare this to the open rate of SMS, which is around 98%, so much higher. By supplementing your email payment reminders with SMS messages, you can reach your customers on the go and also increase your chances of getting paid on time. Also, don't forget to thank your customers for paying. This step can often be forgotten, but by thanking your customers for paying, you're giving them confirmation that the payment has been received and also reducing the chance for any further queries. It can also encourage good payment behaviour and positive relationships with your customers, because you're showing your appreciation and also making them feel much more valued as a customer. It can also be an opportunity for repeat business or for you to gain some positive reviews from your customers. So you can add things like contact details, so they've got someone to get in touch with if they want to make a repeat order. Or also, if a customer has had a positive experience, it's a good idea to give them a link so that they can leave a review for your business. There's a number of ways that you can enhance your communication with your customers about their payments. And after the webinar, we'll send out some information so that you can easily implement the steps that I mentioned. I'll now share a few points about how you can improve your credit control processes through optimizing your internal processes. So firstly, we recommend revisiting or optimizing your credit control policy. A lot of businesses, either the members of the finance team are not familiar with the accounts receivable policy, or some businesses don't have a policy in place at all. The credit control policy is a set of regulations that govern how you trade on credit terms. It lets your customers know what the credit terms are, but also acts as a guide for your staff as well. By having a clear policy around the way that you deal with accounts receivable, it will be more streamlined and aligned across the business. The credit control policy can be shared with your sales and account management team, and this can avoid customers with large amounts of overdue debt being granted additional credit, which they may not actually pay back. If you don't have a credit control policy yet, our experts have created a free credit control policy template that you can use, and we'll include this within the follow-up emails. Secondly, don't be shy about requiring credit checks. This is essentially your first line of defense when it comes to bad payers. Similar to a personal credit report, the credit check searches your potential customers' credit history and also their payment behavior, and it can help highlight any red flags. We recommend having this as a standard part of your due diligence when you onboard new customers, as it lets you assess the potential risk before you do business with them. You can also use the insights from the reports to implement credit limits for your existing customers and also for your new customers. And this can make sure that you're offering the appropriate amount of credit to customers who are able and willing to make payments on time. It can also help to make sure that you don't put your business at risk by granting too much credit to clients who may not pay you back. This may seem unfair or difficult to implement, but we've got some guidance on how you can effectively set credit limits and also establish your business's risk level, and we'll share these after the call. The last strategy for improving credit control to make it easy is to basically make it easy and attractive for your customers to pay you on time. And one way to do this is to incentivize early payment with early payment discounts. This could be a static discount, for example, a 1% discount if they pay within the first 10 days, or it could be a dynamic discount, so one where the discount decreases the closer that they get to the payment date. It's always important to consider what your business can afford, and then you can check our guidance on how early payment discounts can be used to help you get paid faster. All businesses have a preferred way of paying, and if you can facilitate multiple payment methods, it can make it much easier for your customers to pay, and you're more likely to receive prompt payments. In addition to bank transfers, we recommend using a payment portal provider like Chaser that facilitates multiple payment options. When your customers are struggling to pay you or have a large value invoice, offering them payment plans can help you retrieve some of the money sooner than if you asked for the total amount upfront. By offering this extra flexibility, it can help build positive relationships with your customers. It's also important to just carefully decide when and which customers you give the flexible plans to, and credit checking can actually be a really good way to help you decide which customers you can rely on to pay you back. We've created an article which can help you decide who to give payment plans to and how to structure your installments, and we'll send this one out today. So in summary, the 3 strategies to improve your credit control processes are enhancing your communications, tightening your credit control process, and also making it easy and attractive for your customers to pay you on time. There are many techniques that you can use to achieve this, but I wanted to keep this concise for today, and we'll share some more guidance with you via email over the coming weeks. Alex, over to you for some cash flow advice.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. So as Charlotte's mentioned there, I'm now going to go through a couple of strategies to improve your cash flow. Maintaining positive cash flow has always been one of the biggest challenges faced by small business owners. Now, with current developments in different markets causing increased costs and shortages of stock and material, steady cash flow is more challenging than ever before. Small businesses have to think about not only the micro environment they find themselves in, but the macro environment and where they fit within it. The only way to effectively do this is to get an accurate idea of the health of your business in relative terms. And one of the easiest ways to measure and quantify this is through mastering your cash flow. So in terms of what I'm going to go through today, we're going to look at the benefits of preparing a cash flow forecast and then also renegotiating your supplier contracts. I'm then going to speak briefly about the recovery loan scheme as well before we talk to you about how Chaser and Funding Circle are going to partner up to be able to help you achieve this. So in terms of preparing a cash flow, well, it sounds really obvious, but there are plenty of businesses in the UK that don't currently forecast their cash flow on a regular basis. Creating a cash flow forecast couldn't be easier. There are 3 key elements to include in a cash flow forecast, which are your estimated likely sales, projected payment timings, and your projected costs. This doesn't have to be particularly in depth, just an Excel document or even a pad and pen that allow you to be able to forecast how your next 3, 6, 12 months look in terms of cash. Preparing regular cash flow forecasts can help you identify opportunities to maximize your earnings, and this is where it becomes really interesting, especially at the moment. For instance, when you have extra cash flow, you can bulk buy stock, you can invest in new systems for greater efficiency and less wasted resource. Or, for example, pay off debts quicker to avoid costly interest payments, especially if you're on short-term facilities. Cash flow forecasts can also help with identifying where funds are not being used optimally. So look at ways in which you can cut costs or increase your income, then test these solutions against your forecasts to see if they prevent any future shortfalls, because we all know that there are certain times of the year, certain periods where cash becomes a little tighter. Once you've done this, you can also look at the idea of renegotiating your supplier contracts. Now, if you haven't renegotiated contracts with your suppliers since they were originally set up, now might be exactly the right time to do so. You could get some extra flexibility if you're experiencing short-term cash flow issues. And aside from anything else, it's good practice to be able to do so periodically. You never know when you might be able to secure a better deal from a supplier. Here are some key things to consider, though, when you start looking at this. So payment terms. Could you ask for an extension to ease your temporary cash flow problems? So speaking to them on a one-on-one basis, explaining the situation, asking for some sort of extension in terms. Cancellation terms. So look at your contract and have a look and see whether you're locked in and how long for. It might be possible to be able to get a better deal elsewhere, or to leverage the end of a contract to be able to include better terms in a renewal. And then also look at what's included. So if your regular order with this supplier includes items not covered in the contract, you could renegotiate the contract over these items, saving money in the process and ensuring a better deal for yourself. So to recap, those are the 2 kind of main cash flow elements that we wanted to talk about. However, what I wanted to be able to look at as well, and obviously the ultimate goal here, is not only maintaining a healthy business cash flow, but also to take full advantage of positive cash flow periods. So ensuring that when you do have cash in the bank, you can make it work for you. And in those slightly leaner times, ensuring that you can help your business survive through. And we all know that we've been through difficult times over the last, well, what feels like well over 2 years now, realistically, with COVID. But that takes me on to my next point. I'd love to be able to talk briefly about the recovery loan scheme. So following the end of the previous loan schemes, so that will be the CBILS scheme, the bounce back scheme, etc., the government launched the recovery loan scheme on the 6th of April. The recovery loan scheme supports access to finance for UK businesses as they grow and recover from the disruption of the COVID pandemic. We at Funding Circle have been offering the recovery loan scheme loan, and it's been going down incredibly well, as you can imagine. We are going to continue to make offers, but only until the end of tomorrow, effectively. So if you do have a chance to be able to apply over the next 48 hours, please, if you think this is something that would be of interest to you, please do so. It is worth noting, though, that we always offer our loan scheme alongside. So if you do apply and the recovery loan scheme isn't for you, we may still be able to help. But we will continue to make offers up until the end of tomorrow. From 9 a.m. on Monday, any new offers made will be through our business loan product. And it aims to be able to help businesses affected by coronavirus, as I'm sure we all have been, and to be used for business purposes such as managing cash flow, investment, and indeed growth.
Brilliant. I know that Funding Circle are aligned with us at Chaser here in helping as many small businesses recover as possible. Funding Circle will look at how your business has performed over a longer period of time and also the strengths of your business. So even if you've been negatively impacted by the pandemic or aren't ready to apply just yet, don't feel hesitant about applying. You could still get approved for a loan.
Great stuff. And now we're going to quickly discuss how the partnership can support you. We're really excited to have partnered with Chaser, and the guys have been absolutely amazing in terms of what we've done so far. But we have a common goal between Chaser and Funding Circle, and that's to improve cash flow and financial health of SMEs, not only in the UK, but worldwide. Like Chaser, we focus exclusively on serving small and medium-sized businesses, and we offer loans, as I mentioned previously, anywhere from £10,000 up to £500,000 over terms from 2 years currently, that'll be going down again shortly, right up to 6 years. So you can really stretch that out over a longer term. And our market leading instant decision technology enables businesses to not only apply in an average of 6 minutes, but getting a decision in as little as 9 seconds. So where I mentioned previously about making offers up until the end of tomorrow, that still gives you bags of time to be able to get that application in with that instant decision technology.
Yeah, and the great news also is that eligible Chaser customers who will be able to apply for a loan through our partnership directly. So it should be simple and straightforward for you to get the finance that you need.
Great stuff. And I see that the link's just gone into the chat now. So that link there will go out as well after this webinar. But do feel free to be able to click through that. That will take you straight through to our partnership page with Chaser, and we'll make sure that you get the very best deal in terms of coming through to a loan with us.
Brilliant. So we now have a few minutes to take any questions. So if you have any questions, please pop them in the Q&A box and Alex and I will answer those for you.
So just while we're waiting for a couple of those to come in, I've actually got a quick one for you, Charlotte, if that's all right. So we currently have a set of templates that we use, as you suggested, which have been really effective. But can these templates be imported into Chaser so that we can automatically send them to save time and manual effort?
Yeah, for sure. So one of the key aims within Chaser is trying to automate emails is also keeping that human touch. So customers are free to add their own templates or edit the suggested templates that we add in by default to suit your own tone of voice and the way that you would normally communicate with your customers.
Great stuff. Are there any questions in from the room in terms of the chat side of things there?
So we've just got one through. What are the fees for Funding Circle loans?
Great stuff. So in terms of what the fees look like, it's a great question. It's really simple and transparent. What we do is charge a fee in terms of the overall lending taken. So it's a 5% fee in terms of whatever is taken through there. And again, that will be charged upfront, making sure that it's spread over the term of the loan. So it's not going to be an upfront payment. We spoke to businesses. That's never something that we wanted to be able to do. Instead, you're able to spread that over the 6 years, for example, of your term loan.
Brilliant. Thanks, Alex. And just one more here. So if they apply this afternoon, will they meet the RLS deadline?
They absolutely will. So if you apply this afternoon and you're able to get an offer, then obviously we'll be absolutely delighted to be able to honour that through. We will still keep taking and making as many offers as possible over the coming days, but we just can't guarantee anything off the back after the end of tomorrow, purely because obviously we've seen such high demand for this scheme. But again, if you were to apply and the recovery loan scheme wasn't available to you, we'd still be able to potentially make you an offer through the Funding Circle business loan. So no problem at all there.
Brilliant.
Great stuff. And then actually, I think there's one more here around branding. Will the Chaser payment portal have our branding on it? So I'm guessing they mean there by the SME branding. Yeah,
so within Chaser, you can actually upload your own company logo. So this will show in the payment portal. So it would be really clear to your customers that this is your payment portal and who they're making the payment to.
Amazing. check there's no more coming through to us as the hosts here. Last call for any here, guys. Perfect. Great stuff. I think that's everything. Oh, brilliant stuff.
Brilliant.
Great. Well, in which case, I think it might be time to wrap up.
Brilliant. So after the webinar, you can expect to receive an email from us with links to the credit control resources and templates that we've mentioned throughout. And we'll also send a link to Chaser's Funding Circle Q&A page. Looks like we've got one more question come through actually in the Q&A, so I'll just hold on quickly and answer this one. So the question is, are there any tips on how to expedite payment when the bottleneck is the time taken on getting approved by the customer's procurement team? So I guess on this one, one kind of suggestion that I can think, which might be worth trying if it's not something you're doing already. So within Chaser, we often recommend actually sending out emails before the invoice is actually due. So possibly that could help start that approval process a little bit earlier. So if you were, for example, to send out the overdue reminders, say 10 or 15 days before, or however long that approval process normally takes, then hopefully that's more likely to get approved by the payment date. Alternatively, if the problem with the approval is the invoice value, you could also try implementing payment plans. So asking for a small amount of money that you know is likely to get approved earlier, and then kind of doing installments on that so that they can pay the rest later, if you think that would help. Those would be my two top suggestions. I think that's probably all of the questions. So thank you everyone for joining. I hope you all have a great day and we'll be in touch shortly.
Thank you ever so much, guys, for joining. Cheers now.
Thank you.